So you have to factor that in, but it's so hard sometimes because you don't pay attention to it because you're just out here living and I'm getting paid and I'm getting this tax-free money and then I'm probably getting food. So all the extra money you think I'm saving, I'm winning, but I'm using that to parlay and go out to eat and probably go give me some extra groceries and this, that, and the third. But this country's more expensive than the next country that I was just in. So the money's not adding up and I'm spending at a higher rate without even understanding that. So if I may have saved, you might go from spending an extra 600 to 16 a stack more than you did just by changing countries, playing in a different country, playing in a different league. Especially in the Europe area, because they got so many different countries all bundled up. That's different money. That's different tax brackets. That's different expenses that you don't even think about. Playing in the Middle East, playing in China, playing in South America. Got to look up what the economic status is in these countries and how much things are for just everyday life as well. What are they paying? How much they get paid? What's their economic status like? Because if you don't even take time to look at their economic status, like, let me just see. Because they'd be like, okay, well, some of these teams have money, and then halfway through the season, we ain't got no money to pay. Oh, that happens a lot. You better believe. And you go take just one look at Google, well, their economics and their finances, everything's just tanking. Their country's just going down. Like, there's so much more to the game. I understand where she's coming from. It's something that we have to make sure that we take into as a concept, and we make sure that we're accurately doing our research. The more research that you do before you start, that's with anything in life. The more research that you start off by doing in the first place to get there, before you even get to any country, you'll be better equipped. You'll just be better equipped. And I remember I took a class and it was just on finances and it's all about mindset. And it's like we trying to tell, like as of right now, trying to tell people that, you know what, you should go and make sure you do your research and you make sure that you look at the economics. Is most 99.8% of people probably aren't going to do that. I probably know about 2 people that will probably do something like that. So it's really dependent on what kind of person you have to be to even become an overseas basketball player. See what I'm saying? So much about finances and all these type of things, all that is turning into a different type of person. That's a mindset that you must attain in this journey of life before you even get to this stage of where you want to play basketball and you want to live overseas and you want to go through all these good and bad situations that are going to happen. You're going to have a great time and you're going to have horrible times. That's life in general. But at least you get to control your destination, your destiny, and what you want out of it. And it's all depending on the knowledge that you obtained before. It depends on the person you decide to be. Like I say, most of us, black basketball players, don't really got good money management skills. I did not have it. I look at my friends right now who are making a lot of money and they spend it on a lot of dumb stuff. And they're not managing their money well. And it's always I lose it all and I get it right back. That's where making from 20 to 30,000 to 50,000 to one of my friends say, I remember one season I made 150,000 over 9 months. And I was going back to that team 2 months later. When I looked at my account, I had 20 bands in there. How? Where does it all go if we don't turn ourselves into the person that is knowledgeable about every aspect of our lives and especially our finances? Because everybody's looking for the big bag to get you there. One of the greatest gifts about overseas basketball is the free time that you get. That free time, like right now, I'm right here, I'm recording. I took my free time to understand what I wanted, and I'm using it right now to make this podcast, to build this business of being the #1 overseas informative on mental aspects of podcasts. Still working on it, as you can see. Mental aspect of overseas basketball, I'm your guy. Because this game is more than 80%, it's all mental to me. It's all mental. Everything is just the mentality that you bring into it. And I want to be the #1 specialist when it comes to overseas basketball mentality. There it is. Hey, man, I told you I'm still working on it. That's what I'm using the time for, to learn and grow and teach what I've learned from my little bit of time playing, because it's better to have somebody that's actually saying something than no one that's not saying anything. We live in an age where everybody can give us some kind of gems or nothing if you're willing to search for it. That just turns back into what I was saying about, are you willing to put the work in for yourself to become the person? To be an overseas basketball player, you got to be more than just a basketball player. There's overseas in front of that. That means you have to understand the life of overseas and understand the life of different countries and this world, because you're going away from what you know and what's common to you. You're going overseas basketball, professional basketball player. Overseas first. Understand what that really means. Understand that is a different life. That is a different country. That is a different culture. That is a different economic system. That's different laws. There's different rules. There's different people. Understanding that. But it just ties into becoming into the person. How do you become to the person? What are we doing to become the person? What are we doing to become the person that is able to be an overseas basketball player? We're going to get into that. And I've made, I don't know if you guys follow me, you know I have my other personal page. And on that page, I talk a lot. I do a lot of basketball clips, and it's a basketball page. It's my brand page. It's my 3-4 page. I'll put it on the screen if people who see this one and don't know that my personal page. But it's 34 THR number 3E4 for 34. My number. Everywhere I play basketball, 34 has been my number. From Paul Pierce, was my favorite player. Mid-range game all day. You already know, mid-range master. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.